Ankaraja, good evening.
Good evening, Mwalimu. How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
Good sana.
Asante.
So today we look at method number 3, which is called activity-based costing method. Activity-based costing method. And we write that this method assumes that costs are costs. Costs are costs by activities but absorbed by products. First up, an activity refers to combination of several tasks. An activity refers to combination of several tasks described by a verb. Of several tasks described by a verb. E.g., receiving materials, ordering materials, etc. It also assumes that costs can be divided into 3 groups. Costs can be divided into 3 groups. Costs can be divided into 3 groups. A, variable. B, fixed. And C, semi-variable. Variable, fixed, and semi-variable. Okay, then down there we write that this method is said to be very accurate. In regard to semicolon, and point number 1, costing policies. Costing policies. Number 2, pricing policies. Number 3, evaluation procedures. Evaluation procedures. Number 4, decision making. Decision making. Decision making. So that is what we call activity-based costing. It is a method that says that the costs that are incurred, they are not brought about by the products, but they are brought about by the activities that are done. Like now, here at Churcham College, the products, so to speak, are the two of you as students. The costs that I'm incurring is electricity, there is internet, there is my salary. All those are costs. So the traditional methods of marginal and absorption would say that you people are responsible for those costs. But ABC says no, you are not responsible. What is behind the costs is that an activity has been undertaken. Like right now, I am teaching. So as a result of teaching, the college has incurred the costs. Otherwise, if I'm not teaching, I will not be paid. There will be no need of using internet. There will be no need of using electricity. So teaching is the one that is responsible for the cost. However, the cost that has been brought about by teaching will eventually be absorbed by the product. And you people are the ones that now will take up that cost in form of paying the school fees. In form of paying the school fees. So that is the rationale behind ABC. Now, the other thing is that the conventional methods of marginal and absorption, they were dividing costs into two categories, the fixed and the variable. But ABC says there are some costs that you cannot tell for sure whether they are fixed or variable. So such, we take them to be semi-variable or mixed. Now that improves the accuracy, and as a result, our costing, our pricing, our evaluation and decision-making processes are accurate. Let's now look at types of activities. Types of activities. Types of activities. Types of activities. Number 1 is unit level. Unit level activities. Unit level activities. And we write that these are activities which involve just one unit of a product. These are activities which involve just one unit of a product. Number 2, we have batch level activities. Batch level activities. These are activities that involve several units of a product. These are activities that involve several units of a product. several units of a product. These are activities that involve several units of a product. Number 3, product sustaining activities. Product sustaining activities. Product sustaining activities. These are activities aimed at ensuring the long-term survival. These are activities aimed at ensuring the long-term survival and competitiveness of a product. Aimed at ensuring the long-term survival and competitiveness of a product. Number 4, facility sustaining. Facility sustaining activities. Facility sustaining activities. And write that these activities performed. These are activities performed to ensure that the company remains a going concern. Activities performed to ensure that the company remains a going concern for a long period of time. For a long period of time. Yeah, so we have those 4 types of activities. We have the unit level. Those are activities that benefit just one unit of a product at a time. Then we have the batch. Now the batch benefits more than one unit of a product. Like now what I'm doing teaching is a batch level because it's benefiting more than one persons at a time. We have product sustaining. These are activities that are done to ensure that our product remains competitive. These would include repackaging, redesigning, and so on and so on. Then we have the facility sustaining, the activities that we do to ensure that our company remains a going concern. Like maybe we engage in research, we acquire properties, and so on and so on. Reasons behind growth of ABC. Reasons behind growth of ABC. Reasons behind growth of ABC. Number 1, need to remedy the inaccuracies. Need to remedy the inaccuracies. Need to remedy the inaccuracies of the traditional methods. Need to remedy the inaccuracies of the traditional methods. Number 2, emergence of low-cost production countries. Emergence of low-cost production countries. emergence of low-cost production countries. Number 3, increased use of machines to do office duties. Increased use of machines to do office duties. Another one, increased neck-to-neck competition. Increased neck-to-neck competition. Next, increased need for diversification strategies. Increased need for diversification strategies. Yeah, so those are some of the reasons why ABC is becoming popular, that there is need for the problems that have been identified with marginal and absorption to be rectified. And ABC has come in to rectify. Low-cost production countries like Dubai and the wider United Arab Emirates, those have required that you be accurate. Then there is use of machines, automation. When you invest heavily in your office, you also require to be accurate so that you avoid making mistakes, because a small mistake involving a lot of money can result to a huge loss. Competition has become very stiff. If you are faced with a lot of competition, again, you require to be very, very accurate, and the need for diversification. Higher. The next thing is procedure for implementing ABC. Procedure for implementing ABC. Procedure for implementing ABC. Procedure for implementing ABC. Number 1, identify all the activities taking place in the organization. Identify all the activities taking place in the organization. Number 2, group all the identical activities. Group all the identical activities to form cost centers. To form cost centers. Number 3, identify the appropriate cost driver. Identify the appropriate cost driver for each cost center. Identify the appropriate cost driver for each cost center. For each cost center. Number 4, compute OAR. compute OAR for each cost center. Compute OAR for each cost center. And you write this formula. OAR is budget costs. You divide by budget value of the cost driver. Budget value of the cost driver. Budget costs, you divide by budget value of the cost driver. The cost driver. And step number 5, step number 5 is compute the absorbed costs. Compute the absorbed costs. And you write this formula. Absorbed costs is equal to OAR times actual value of the cost driver. Absorbed costs is the OAR times the actual value of the cost driver. The cost driver. Yeah, so basically that is the set of steps that are followed when you want to do ABC. So that is exactly now what I want us to do. So let us go to August 2023. August 2023, question number 4B. Look at it and read through. Just a minute. Oh, sorry, you could not hear me. But everything I've said, I've written, except now saying that you give me the total here. Sorry for that. I got muted. I did not know. Did not remember to unmute. $35. Huh? No. That is not the correct one. I've seen one. So I go by that, 13,000. Higher. So the OAL should be equal to these total overheads. I think the total overheads, their total is 26,000. 26,000. How much? 20. The total overheads are 26 million, actually 26 million. You divide this by the hours, 13,000. Sorry, I need your answers also. Good. Yeah, good. So this is 2,000 shillings per machine hour. Per machine hour. Per machine hour. So we have the product. We have the absorbed overheads. The absorbed overhead cost per unit. The product and the absorbed overhead cost per unit. So product A, you take these 2,000, you multiply by the hours here, 4. That's obviously 8,000. You got product B, take the OAL, 2,000, times these hours, 3. That's 6,000. C, 2,000 times 2. that is 4,000. D, we have 2,000 times 3, that is 6,000. Okay, so with that now, we need to prepare the cost statement. The cost statement. They are saying we get the units and total. So the cost statement, we have details. Under the details, we will have the first one. The first thing is direct material costs. Direct material costs. Direct labor costs. Direct labor costs. And then when you add them, you get something we call the prime cost. Then you bring the absorbed overhead costs. Then you get the cost per unit. Cost per unit. You get the cost per unit. When you get the cost per unit, you get total units. And then you get the total costs. The total costs. So this is product A, B, C, and D. So this one, we just take the materials as given. Like for A, it is that 300. And rebar is 2310. So you just add. And this will be 5610. The absorbed overheads was 8,000. So you add this and you get 13,610. And then the number of units are 1,200. So you just multiply now these 13 by these 1,200. $16,332,000. We do the same for B. B, we have 4125. And 1980. So add these two. 1980. $6105. The overheads, we had gotten 2,000 times 3, which was 6,000. This is 12,105. And the number of units are 1,000. So this is straightforward, 12,105,000. We go to C. C, we have 2475. And 1155. So add the two of them. That is 630. Now, the overheads, we had 2,000 times 2. That was 4,000. So this is 7,630. And the number of units are 800. This one times this. It's not multiplication. We are adding. Sorry, we are not adding, we are multiplying. This times this. Sorry, we are multiplying. 6,104,000. Aya. Do the same for D. Do the same for D, your own. Give me the figure. $129, $213. I think we have to harmonize. We have to harmonize. This is 49.50. 18.15. So when you have added this, you get what? You have gotten what? What did you get when you add the two? 67.65. Then the overheads were 6,000. So this is 12,765. And the number of units are 1,200. So LC, I guess there's somewhere you made a mistake. I don't know whether you used the 4,200. So when you multiply, LC, can you multiply now this one and this one? Tell me what you're getting. Okay. So we have 15,318. Now, I think now we are together, Sally. Good. Oh, the absorbed overheads ni zile tulicompute, ile tulikuwa nayo hapa tukasema product and overhead cost per unit. Can you see them? After we got the OER, tulisema product absorbed overhead cost per unit. Ni hizo tu ndio tumeleta hapa. Okay. So with that, let's now go to activity-based costing technique. Now, in the activity-based costing technique, we compute OER for each cost center. So the first one, we start with the machinery cost center. So we just call it machinery cost. Machinery costs. Now, when you are under machinery costs, the first thing you need to get is the OER. Now, the OER will be given as budget costs. Budget costs. You divide this by budget machine hours. Budget costs, you divide by budget machine hours. So, the budget costs for machinery, as you can see there, is 10 million. 10,430,000. You divide this by the machine hours. We had computed the machine hours. We had gotten what? The total machine hours that we computed earlier. $13,000. So this one, you divide by 13,000. Divide by 13,000. 802.3. Now this 802.3, it is per machine hour. Per machine hour. So you now come and get per unit. So we start with product A. Product A will get 802.3 times the machine hours. The machine hours are 4. So multiply this by 4. At 209.2. Then for B, it is 802.3 times 3 hours. 3 machine hours. I hope all of us can see where the hours are coming from. $24.06.9. Then we go to C, 802.3 times 2. $1604.6. D, 802.3 times 3. So this one we had it 2406.9. That's about machine cost. Let's go to the next cost driver, setup costs. Not cost driver, cost center. Setup costs. Now for the setup, once again, we get the OER. So the OER will be budget costs. You divide this by budget production runs. The typesetting there is not very good, but it's supposed to be number of production runs. So we can just call them budget production runs. Budget production runs. Budget production runs. So this becomes, the budget cost is 5,250,000. Now this one should be divided by the number of production runs. If you look at the production runs up there, already we are given the total, so we don't need to add by ourselves. It's just 21. The number of production runs, they are 21. 250,000. Now this is per production run. It's per production run. So per unit of each product, when you start with A, you will take these 250,000, the 250,000, you multiply by the number of runs. This one has 6 runs. You divide that by the number of units. The number of units are 1,200. The number of units are 1,200. $1,250. B, we do the same. You take these 250,000, you multiply by the number of runs, which are 5. Then you divide by the number of units, 1,000. Also 1,250. C, it is 250,000 times 4. Then you divide by the number of units, 800. Uh-huh, 2,000. Is it 2,000 or 1,250? Yeah, so uncheck yours. It should be 1,250 also. Then do the same for D and tell me whether you are getting 250. I mean 1,250. Do the same for D. Tell me whether it's coming back to 1,250. So you got also 1250. Let's go to the next one, stores receiving costs. So the OAR is the budget costs. We divide by the budget requisitions. Budget requisitions. So the budget cost here is 3,600,000. And the requisitions that were raised totally 80. $45,000. Now this is 45,000 per requisition. So per unit, we start with A. It will be 45,000 times the number of requisitions. There are 20. You divide by the number of units, 1,200. $1,200. $750. Let's go to B. You take 45,000 times 20. You divide this by 1,000. $900. You go to C. 45,000 times 20 again. You divide this by 800. $1,125. We go to D. It is 45,000 times 20. We divide this by the number of units, 1,200. So D, we have also gotten 750. So let's go to inspection costs. Inspection costs. So the OAL will be budget costs. You divide by number of production runs. Budget production runs. So this becomes the budget cost is 2,100,000. The number of production runs are already given as 21. So that will be how much? $100,000 per run. So per unit of A will be 100,000 times the number of runs, which are 6. You divide by the number of units, which are 1,200. $500. B, we have 100,000 times 5. You divide by the number of units, 1,000. Or it's also 500. C, 100,000 times 4. You divide by 800. Okay, 500 also. 100,000 times 6. Divide by 1,200. I think this will also be 500. So let's do the last one. Orders executed. So do the last one, orders executed on your own. This one you'll do on your own, not orders executed. Material handling costs. Materials handling costs. So you shall use the OEL, the orders executed at the base. So do that, mpaka upate per units. Tell me what you have gotten for material handling for product A. Product A, what did you get for material handling? 1100. B. For B. Or is the same? Okay, so even for C and D. Okay, so sasa design this statement. Draw this statement. Draw the statement. Draw the statement. Start giving me these totals once you are there. If the 610, B 6105, C 3630, and 2310. So these ones are the same. These ones, 2310. Ama kuna yenye nimekopi vibaya. See, this is a 5. Hata ni dogo kuliko the 65, 75. 75. 67, 65. Yeah. Tuende kwa absorbed overheads, Tuanzie mahali tulicompute machinery. Pale tulisema per unit. Machinery per unit ya kwanza ilikuwa what? That 209.2. The next was 2406. Next, 1604.6. Next, 2406.9. Then setup. Tell me setup was 1250 for all. Stores receiving. Stores receiving 750, 900, 1125, and 750. Good. Twende kwa inspection. $500 for all. So now what you do, you add all this. Kuanzia hapa kwa 56. Add all of them mpaka hapa. $12,419.2. Now the number of units are 1,200. So multiply. $14,903,040. Now add these ones. This. 12,261.9. The units are 1,000. I think something like that. So you will do the same for the others. And later on your own, you do April 2022. April 2022, question 3C. You do that on your own, April. Yeah, so let's meet tomorrow, God willing, at 4 p.m. for the next lesson. Thank you. Good night.